Today I'm going to be speaking about the history of Mexico's drug cartels. Mexico has been dealing with the organized crime and drug trafficking for several decades now. During the late 1970s was when it was most popping, and then during that time it was when the first organized crime group was formed, which was the Guadalajara cartel, also known as the Federation, which was formed by Miguel Angel, Felix Gallardo, and others. All the biggest Mexican cartels during that time had gathered and discussed about business, and in that meeting, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo proposed the idea of forming an alliance and working together with one big organization. The cartels who attended that meeting were the Sinaloa cartel, the Juarez cartel, Tijuana cartel, and the Guadalajara cartel. And then they came up to an agreement, and they decided to all work together, and they would work under the Guadalajara cartel as the head. And then also they would start with the drug trafficking business, and then they noticed that it was less complicated and way simpler because they wouldn't be fighting with each other. And it also allowed growth and expansion to the business all around Mexico. And then each group also had their specific job role in their territory they had to control and they were in charge of. So for example, the cartel was in charge of Sinaloa, the Juarez was in charge of all of Chihuahua, and then Tijuana was in charge of Tijuana, and so on. And then throughout the 1980s, Guadalajara cartel controlled most of the drug trafficking in Mexico. And then during the years, the drug trafficking business was evolving. So instead of just smuggling marijuana to the US, they started to smuggle cocaine as well. So what they did, they went to Colombia, and then they went to talk to the Medellin cartel to negotiate with Pablo Escobar to see if they would come into an agreement for him to be his main source, so then he could provide the cocaine, and then if he could transport it to Mexico, and then they would do the rest, and then from there they would distribute it to the other cartels, and those smaller cartels would distribute it to the United States. And then the Guadalajara cartel would receive it, and then they would also distribute the money, and then those other drug cartels would be in charge of small portions of the bigger shipments. They would have like smaller portions that they would need to distribute within their region and to the other side of the border. And then during this time, Mexico was getting very corrupt. The narcos were bribing the police officials, congressmen, people in the government. Like, they would be on the side of the narcos, and like the rich would get even richer, and then the people that were poor would get even poorer because of this. And then the Federation lasted from 1980 to 1989, which was around 9 years, and after that a whole drug trafficking war commenced, and it was complete chaos during that time. There's one time where the peso, which is the currency in Mexico, dropped drastically, like pretty bad. It was like worthless at one point, in which that was bad because the people that were poor made even poor. The people that had jobs, they became unemployed. And then the people that were rich, well, they didn't really get hurt of that because they just got even richer. And also the narcos and the head leaders, the kingpins, they all got even richer and more. But now all the Mexican citizens were suffering from that, and also like from the corruption. Like, they were trying to get the word out that there's people in the government that are working with the narcos, that they gotta come out and stuff. But yeah, and then after that, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo was captured and was sentenced to prison. So then, because of that, the Mexican drug war was the reason for that, because he was the one that was controlling all the other smaller Mexican cartels. But once he was captured and sentenced to prison, then they all just went to their own ways and like went back to their old ways. And yeah, thank you.